Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. My name is Lilia, and in this video I'm going to go through my favourite YouTube channels that I have used and keep using for a long time to improve on my English. Mr. Duncan. Mr. Duncan is a real character, and I know that some of you guys who are watching this video right now are familiar with Mr. Duncan's channel because that's how you found me, and thank you very much for subscribing to my channel as well. Mr. Duncan is great. He's an English teacher. He's one of the first English teachers on YouTube. He started running English lessons for his audience 12 years ago. Can you imagine what an experience Mr. Duncan's got? And his videos are super light. They're really interesting. The vocabulary there is super wide, and in general what I really like about his channel is that he sorts everything out by topics, and it's really easy to follow. So I'm so into Mr. Duncan's videos on grammar. And also another fantastic thing about Mr. Duncan is that every Sunday at 2 p.m. UK time he runs live streams where sometimes I take part as well. So if you'd like to come and find yourself in the same classroom, make sure you go there and check out on Mr. Duncan's content because it's really nice. To Fluency. To Fluency is basically a one-man show, and this is a guy who is from Britain, so he's from England, and he's really great because he's got an American wife, and what he does is very often he sets up little conversations with his wife where you can compare British English to American English and hear what the difference really is. He also very often takes you around his house by showing us around and telling us what his home is like, and it's really great for everyday English. He also speaks in a very slow and a very comprehensible manner, so I'm fairly sure that this is a channel you might be looking for if you're planning to improve on your knowledge of everyday vocabulary. English with Ronnie. Sometimes there are topics that are not taught in schools. Menstruation for girls, you know, swearing, things like that. It's not like the main theme of Ronnie's videos, but I think she tends to be one of those easygoing English teachers who talk about everything. English Jade. Jade is an English teacher from the UK. She's fantastic. She teaches people to speak with a British accent. She's also very open and honest about psychology and things that are troubling her. So if you're looking for a teacher who is really open with their audience, she's the one to look for. Maddie. Maddie is a British TV presenter, and she runs quite a few shows for the BBC, especially the one that I love, which is called The Earth Unplugged, where she talks about all various things that are related to nature and animals and living creatures, and it's really gorgeous of a channel. TED and TEDX talks. Whatever you're into, I'm very sure there is a topic on TED that might really capture your interest. Russell Brand's Under the Skin podcast. If you're into spirituality and you love exploring the inner realm of human psychology, I'm fairly sure this is a channel that might really appeal to you. This Morning, as well as Good Morning Britain. It's a Great Morning British talk show where people express their opinions on various topics. Family Fizz. No show can tell you more about family life than Family Fizz. Family Fizz is basically a family that vlogs their everyday life, wherever they go, whether they're giving a birth to a child, which might be a little bit too much for certain people, to just throwing away some rubbish, whatever. Just go and check out Family Fizz if you're into some heartwarming family situations. Here's something I just can't stop recommending enough. Beauty blogs and lifestyle blogs and things like that. I know many people criticize lifestyle bloggers on the internet these days due to those being way too materialistic and focusing on the let's say the consumerist part of life. However, having said that, I think it all depends on the viewer, what purpose you've got in mind when you're choosing to click on a video title of a kind. So I would definitely recommend some of my favorite bloggers such as Zoella, Fleur DeForce. I have a favourite fitness blogger as well. His name is Tally Rye, and I think Tally is great because she focuses on the psychological nature of weight loss. So not only does she talk about losing weight and stressing your body out when you're in a gym or something, but she also focuses quite a lot on our mental energy and how the fitness industry is trying to catch us in let's say this vicious circle of paying our money all the time continuously. I think Tally's great. So if you're looking for a person who combines fitness activities with some cerebral understanding of why we do fitness in the modern society, Tally Rye would have to be one of those bloggers to definitely follow. Foreman, hand and heart, I still have no idea who Jay is. It feels like he's a comedian of a kind, but his videos are super professional. He's really great. He talks a lot about London and how London transport works. And he also creates some videos on map discovery and map exploration called The Map Men. And I think he's just fantastic. So if you happen to know what Jay's background is, please post me a comment down below, because I'm really interested in finding out more about this funny, hilarious guy who produces high quality videos for YouTube. Going back to bloggers, Pickup Lines is another motivational blog to follow if you're into combining your English learning routine with some motivational tricks, as well as time management, self-improvement, things like that. You see, what I really like about English these days is that you don't even have to focus on it for linguistic purposes only if you want to learn it very well. What you could do instead is you could just learn about your favourite subject in the English language, and that will inspire you, because in that way you'll kill two birds with one stone. You'll learn your English and you'll develop your understanding of a favourite subject in question that you're truly keen on. Pullein, another great blogger who teaches you to be well organised, careful with your time as well as comfortable with your time. So go and check out Carl's YouTube channel if you're into some time management tips and tricks to lead you through the day. Tom Scott and his popular physics. If you're a little bit tired of me talking about beauty blogging, here is the one for you if you're a guy. Tom Scott and his popular physics questions answered. BBC Three is great for social experiments. Now, if we go technical, MrSkypelessons is another fantastic YouTube channel which you can use for grammar explanation, for mistake correction. The guy who runs MrSkypelessons is fantastic in the sense that he worked quite a lot with Slavic learners, and I know that the majority of you guys who subscribe to my channel come from a Slavic background. And this guy who runs the MrSkypelessons video channel has spent quite a long time working with Slavic students, which is really great because he really keeps in mind the mistakes which we Slavic learners are prone to make. So bear that in mind. I'd really recommend that you subscribe to his channel and watch his 10 common mistakes in English series of videos. They're really cool. What he actually does is he puts the common mistakes up on a whiteboard, and then he goes through every sentence, correcting the mistakes and explaining the reasons why the structures chosen by the people who set those sentences which have to be incorrect. So go and check him out too. Actualize.org. The reason I'm mentioning Actualize.org for his best podcasts or videos to watch to improve on your English is because Leo from Actualize.org runs a YouTube channel. Not only a podcast does he do, but he also runs a YouTube channel which is basically his major project. And if you're into spirituality and you love listening to American English, and it is the American accent that you want to do and follow and learn how to do, I think Leo is a great model. So go and check out Actualize.org. Life Where I'm From, another great set of videos beautifully done by a guy who is Canadian but he's currently living in Japan, and he talks about life in Japan as opposed to life back in Canada, which is also enlightening and really fun to watch. OpenLearn from the Open University, a great educational YouTube channel with a range of videos on a number of topics. BBC Learning English, it's in the name. Minute Earth, as you may guess, it's in the name again. So if the video channel is called Minute Earth, it may suggest to you, and it does mean that apparently that Technically, each video is 1 minute long, so it's great for classroom use if you're an English teacher, and it's also great to give you some basic idea of how typical regular ordinary things function on our planet, like how blood circulates or things like that. So just go and check that out if my physical explanations don't really sound sound to you. BBC Earth Lab, a little bit more scientifically oriented, basically the same idea, interesting scientific discoveries happening in the world of science. Really great, interesting, just for your general knowledge purposes. So this is a very good one. If you're into TED Talks but you think that TED Talks are getting a little bit too materialism oriented and you are a kind of a more let's say spiritual person, okay, so Action for Happiness is somewhere to go. I think Action for Happiness is really great because what it focuses on is it focuses and talks from prominent speakers on things such as happiness, living a happier life, well-being, spiritual well-being, mental well-being, meditation, awareness, things like that. It's really inspiring. Food to eat to make you feel good, because it's possible, and I'm telling you that without doubt. Katie Jobling, if you're into painting like I am, can you guess where this house is from? You may go and check out on Katie's videos. They're great for novice painters, but she also shares some advanced techniques for some of those painters who are a little bit more professional than that. The names of brushes, the types of brushes, the types of substances and paints used in painting, all of those beautiful vocabulary items are in a good way listed on Katie's channel, so check it out. If you're into photography, Mike Browne's channel is really elaborate on the subject of photography, of taking beautiful images, and I should say that for a person who is quite into self-improvement and always working my best up to whatever I choose, I think Mike's videos have been really helpful. From time to time, Mike Browne also runs live streams from all distant corners of the globe where you can participate and just chat with Mike and other participants in English. What else do we want? Jamie Oliver, a household name, a person you've probably heard about many times. If you're into cooking, if you're into surprising your family with lovely cuisine, which is exotic and new, or even if you just want to brush up on your cooking skills because you haven't done this for a very long time, Jamie's channel is somewhere to go to. It's really great for food vocabulary, I think. So you can learn how to name various accessories in your kitchen, how to basically name many products and food types that we tend to buy from a grocery store. So those are great. Last Week Tonight is a one-man show where the presenter mocks recent trends in society, and it does that in a really humorous way. So I do recommend that you go over there and check him out. So those have been my 28 favourite YouTube channels to help you improve on your English. Having said that, as you can see, some of my channels are really English oriented, whereas other channels are really general life skills oriented and don't really have to do directly with learning English. The reason I conjured up this list is because I want to encourage you to explore the things you really love doing in English. It's really fun because I think it's a curious fact that we tend to memorize things better and learn better when the thing in question is really interesting to us, when we find it genuinely curious, then we really want to satisfy our eagerness to explore that thing by just learning about it. So why not take a chance? Why not improve on your English? By the way, it doesn't even matter if you're a learner or an English teacher. I think many English teachers who are not native speakers, we tend to have this kind of gap in everyday vocabulary, so to speak. So some of those channels are really great to fill in that gap and to help you speak English like a native speaker indeed. If I haven't mentioned a channel that you really love watching, please make sure that you post it down below in the comment section under this video. I'm planning to make another videos on TV shows that are great for improving on your English. So if you happen to have a favourite TV show that you really like watching from time to time, make sure you drop me a link to it, or just you drop its name into the comment section down below under this video. Don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet, and I'll talk to you again very soon. Merry Christmas. Bye.